What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I want to break down what's going on with the overall market moving forward and talk about some very important levels. Let me just mention that I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Anyways, now let's talk about the market. As a reminder for tomorrow, guys, we have Jerome Powell giving a speech, and he's going to be giving his testimony at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. When Jerome Powell opens his mouth, it's going to cause a lot of volatility. And during his testimony, there's going to be a lot of questions being asked to him. So when Powell is being asked these questions, he may have to say things that are kind of like off his typical script. Most of what he says is typically the same thing usually, but in this case, he may have to say something a little bit different if he's asked about a recession, if he's asked about like very, very specific questions. So that could be very, very important. So with Jerome Powell, speaking tomorrow, it's going to cause some high volatility after the market opens. So I want to give you guys just one more heads up about that, just so you guys are prepared. Anyways, going back to the market, what's going on so far? SPY pushed all the way up to 556, but I told you, wait a second, watch 555 is a very, very important level, which is where we like to see some consolidation and such. And look what happened. We actually got attracted back down to 555, all the way down to 544, the very low 544s, only to get bought back up and then back down. So we're just going back and forth between 555, around just above and below it. We're just kind of consolidating right over here. Now, looking at this structure, we do have a kind of like a inverse cup and handle like structure that's kind of developing, but doesn't guarantee anything until we hear what Jerome Powell has to say. So I'm just kind of like in the middle for now. But if we do close below 555, it's going to be a little bit of a sign of weakness, which does suggest to me that we could be looking for 553.8 very soon. However, we need to be watching confirmation to see if we end up losing the low of the day, and we have to see what Jerome Powell has to say. But just know that there is a higher probability of us kind of dipping a little bit more from here if we don't reclaim 555, especially tomorrow after Jerome Powell's speech. As of right now, we're very choppy. We're just trading sideways, so we'll just have to wait and see. But I just want to call that out, so that SPY is in a critical place. Tesla, on the other hand, is also kind of like in this chop zone, going back and forth, not really doing much, but we're holding up above 250 quite nicely. So Tesla does have that strength over there. If we were to lose 250, I'd be looking at our 50 EMA at 249. Losing that opens the doors for about 245. And breaking past 252.8 would open the doors for 255. Tesla's still holding up very, very well. It has upside potential later on down the line, but as of right now, it's still kind of just consolidating. For Nvidia, Nvidia is kind of trading sideways in this range. We have 127 as support and 129 as resistance. As you can see, it's going back and forth and back and forth. Might continue to shuffle for the rest of the day. I think Jerome Powell's speech will affect whether or not this gets a big bounce or not. There is still potential for Nvidia to run even higher, though. It's not really changing. Bitcoin is trying to turn on the 4-hour time frame. If we break past 56,400, I'll be looking for about 57,000 coming up next. If you reject here, we'll be dipping back down, but I am seeing potential for this to push a little bit higher. So we'll have to see how things go. In my personal opinion, on the 30 minutes time frame, we are looking a little bit more bullish if we could try to get back above 56,400 for a little bit of a push. But like I said before, it's not anything too crazy since we are still seeing some choppy price action. The QQQ is showing some live for testing 497 and 497.5 as resistance levels. And we have support at 496, 495, which happens to be where our 50 EMA is, and then 494. If we lose that, there's going to be an even bigger drop. But as of right now, we're holding up decently. There's a slight bearish divergence developing, so we'll just have to be patient and see how this ends up developing. But so far, so good. Aapl has a nice bullish trend on the 4-hour time frame approaching 228. As of right now, it looks like it wants to push to all-time highs again, and we'll have to see how it reacts to this. If we break through this, we could be looking for 230 plus. If not, if we get another rejection, it could be forming a double top, so we'll just have to wait and see. 228 is a tough resistance, so give it some time. Supermicro is showing some strength breaking through 880. We actually went all the way up to about this 920 area again, a little bit short of breaking it before coming back down. So we're kind of shuffling around 900. We'll have to see if we can hold this or not going into tomorrow, but the trend still remains a little bit more bullish. If you actually zoom out like this, we're looking a little bit more bullish with a nice double bottom, and we could actually try to continue going into tomorrow, at least from a technical standpoint. A lot of people are interested in AMD. We're actually breaking through resistance. Going to be looking for 180 as a potential target. Still looks bullish to me, and I think that there is a little bit more upside potential for AMD. Let me just double check this. Coinbase was just kind of consolidating right over here. If we end up losing support at 219, I'll be looking for the dips of this imbalance at 216 to 215. If we break through 222, we could be trying to retest this trend line. But because we're closing below the trend line, I'm seeing some weakness developing on Coinbase. There is a risk of it dipping lower, looking at the structure as we're looking more distributive. So that's looking a little bit weaker. Amazon's struggling to break through 200. If we had broken that, we would turn very bullish. Because we're below that, it's a sign that we might be dipping back down to 197.1. That's going to be our 200 EMA. So just be careful with that. Meta is also retracing a bit. In my personal opinion, we could be actually retesting 527. If that fails, this will be dipping back down towards 523. We also happen to have resistance around 530, so I do see a risk of us kind of dipping a little bit lower, but I'm going to be watching to see. I'm seeing a little bit of weakness developing on Meta. Microsoft is also looking a little bit of weakness, kind of consolidating in this range between these EMAs. But I am seeing a little bit of weakness considering the fact that it's kind of downtrending a bit right here. And we're just consolidating, so we're stuck within this these EMAs. So we'll have to see which way it breaks to see the bigger move. And Google is also dipping a bit. If we end up losing 190, I'll be looking for a dip all the way down to 189. So that being said, I want to thank you all so much for listening. That's going to be my quick analysis. As a reminder, GameStop is just shuffling just under 25. Not doing much, but AMC is breaking out a little bit more, has more upside potential for 5.6. So that's all I'm seeing. I just want to thank you all for listening. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you guys very soon in just a few hours. Thanks again, and peace out.